2 minutes. Always.
Is it live already? All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Guess what? Today is the 28th of May, and it is Dr. Sunday's birthday. We're excited here. We're the team here. We're expecting Dr. Sunday, and we're welcoming everybody. It's Dr. Sunday's 53rd birthday. We're excited. We're grateful to God for the gift of life and for the gift of Dr. Sunday to us. So as you join us right now, either you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, I want you to leave your birthday. Dr. Sunday is coming, and we're going to welcome him now. Again. Assurance.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Pastor.
Hello, where am I going?
Going this way.
Okay. Samuel Patrick paper down. What you have to be passing with his prayer about? But only have to go to we take. Oh, it's up there? This is a crasavista. Wow, tá com plate.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. Ande pastor Adelaja, yes?
Yeah.
Think about it, Adelaja. Good. Think about it, Adelaja.
And we have
But I'm even my own. Where's the camera? Where's the camera that was okay. But the music teacher. Hello.
Happy birthday.
That's a good idea, eh?
awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, that's.
I do, okay.
So So we're going to be having the Dsa'S team celebrating
So
you,
where
sir.
did you?
So we'd like to have a seat. Yeah. So you can see it. Yeah. Yes.
Please take everyone, please take a seat.
Sylvester, where are you?
All right. Let's have a seat.
Always nice. Is that parents. Maybe parents will join.
The first is joining us.
He said it's coming.
Please join us. All right.
Yeah, it's so rich.
Well, today is definitely a day worth celebrating, and we're excited. We're so happy to have the privilege to celebrate Dr. Sunday on his 53rd birthday. We're here with Dr. Sunday and his beautiful wife, Pastor Bosses. So happy to have you. You're looking radiant. And also we have Dr.
You
Sunday.
people are hijacking the Russian church. The Russian church is coming when? Later,
Yeah,
eh?
they're coming later.
So you decided to do this special, eh?
Yeah, so, well, we are here, this is Dsa'S team, and we decided that we're going to take out this time to celebrate Dr. Sunday. Every one of us, at our own birthdays, Dr. Sunday has single-handedly done something to celebrate and to mark that day special for us. And we thought that on this special day of his, we also, reciprocate the love and the celebration and the honor he has given to us as individuals and also collectively. And that's why we're here, and we have a beautiful cake right there that addresses Dr. Sunday as God's General. So to God's General, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, love and honor from Dsa'S team. Can we celebrate? Yeah. So beautiful. We're not here alone. We also have members of our team who are joining us virtually. We have Mrs. Dsa'S, Maya who are joining us all the way from the UK. We have Salveto from Poland. That's Victor Bamishai. And we also have other people who will join us during the course of the day. So basically what we want to do today is to to celebrate Dr. Sunday and to share our personal experiences, our gratitude to Dr. Sunday, and to tell him how grateful we are for his commitment, for his dedication of service. I'm going to do my own personally, right? So I'm not going to
Not going to delegate it.
I'm not going to delegate it, but let me start with myself, and then I would open the floor for anyone who wants to continue from there. But we have slides, so let's have the slides on display. So I don't know how we're going to make that happen, but we prepared slides with our pictures with Dr. Sunday and some words to appreciate Dr. Sunday. So we'll wait for the slides to come.
Who is shooting Anu? Who is shooting you, Anu? Is the camera there? Would they see the pictures? Or you want to bring it closer to them?
Are you guys on Zoom?
We're on Zoom, so the camera right here.
You can share your screen if you want, like if you have the slides.
I don't have the slides.
Okay, we'll send it to them later.
Okay, we'll send it to slides to them later. Okay, so let's start with mine, right? Now, that is myself and Dr. Sunday right there. And I have some pictures of myself with Dr. but I chose this picture in particular. This was a program that totally changed my life. It's on YouTube right now, and it's titled A New Worldview on Christianity. I met Dr. Sunday at the point where I lost my second brother. That's after losing my elder brother. So I lost my younger brother. And it was at a position or at a phase where I was asking God a lot of questions. And in this particular video, Dr. Sunday was explaining some very deep understanding of life and death.
And it's very symbolic that my hand is here.
Yes.
Like I'm remoting your mind.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm coming to. So I don't know what made him, put his hands right there on my head, but that's very symbolic because that's exactly what Dr. Sunday has done. Through his teachings, through his materials, he has changed my whole paradigm. He has changed my whole worldview, my philosophy of life. And right now, the way I view life is totally different from the way I viewed life before. And there I wrote that Dsa'S has helped me in understanding the true essence of life, who I am and why I'm here on earth, and who God is and how to build a personal relationship with God. One of Dr. Sunday's quotation I particularly remember is when he says, I have encountered superior knowledge and I have fortified myself with understanding. And that has been my testimony. Meeting Dr. Sunday has been an encounter with superior knowledge. And for the few years I've spent with Dr. Sunday, working with him, I've been really fortified with understanding. And I'm particularly grateful to God for the opportunity to be close to Dr. Sunday. I know Dr. Sunday has had a lot of people sharing gratitude to him and saying beautiful things about him. But for me, I know my greatest gratitude will not be in words. My greatest gratitude will be in sons I'm going to raise, just as he has raised me as a son. My greatest gratitude will be in the sons that I will raise for the kingdom and in the spheres of influence that God has called me to dominate for him. And particularly in Nigeria, with my vision of making Nigeria one of the most virtuous nations in the world and to raise Nigerians as one of the most virtuous people in the world. I believe that would be my greatest gratitude to Dr. Sunday. And with my heart, I want to appreciate Dr. Sunday. I want to say thank you so much, sir, for the biggest privilege and the honor to be close to you, to walk with you, and to experience life with you. I've learned so much, and I could write a whole book, and I'm definitely going to even write books from my experience with you. With honor, with gratitude, and with much respect. Thank you so much, Dsa'S.
I'm going to be responding immediately. I think you are one of the most fortunate people in this team because you happen to have met me when in your 20s, in your early 20s. And the message I had for the world today, I don't know if all of you saw it, is that before you are 20, discover your calling. In your 20s, add value to yourself before 30. But between 30 and 40, you must have worked so much that you have fulfilled so much of your calling that you are ready to die at 40. Then anything from 50 should be a bonus for you and a seed to sow your life for the next 100 years. So you are in your 20s now, you are at the verge of finishing what stage?
My second stage.
Your second stage. First stage is before 20, discover your calling. Second stage is adding value. So that's why you are busy just doing that.
Yes.
And you are about to finish that. And once that finishes, at 30, you hit the road.
Hit the road running. Thank you so much, sir. It's beautiful. So, well, I'm going to open the floor right now. It's going to be all testimonies, so please feel free. Anyone who wants to share, let's share our testimony and our preparation. Okay, yeah, maybe we get that. Let's have the
Mais elle t'a pas trop. Elle t'a pas
okay, this is
trop.
not okay, so anyone who wants to go next, please can.
No, Calibra. Это ее волосы были? Вокруг шеи?
Nie, это шаг вокруг шеи.
Ну.
Волос по-другому просто. Да, я на русском писала пункты, я не знала, что как бы презентоваться в английском. Но я сейчас на английском, да?
Не, можно по-русски.
Ну, просто
Транслируем на английскую.
English speaking
Доктор
people.
Сандей,
Yes, I can.
английский, русский, английский, YouTube, Facebook.
I just prepare some points. You know, we can tell about a lot of things. I can personally tell about many things that I thank Pastor Sunday. But for this day, I mentioned 5 things, 5 points of my gratitude to Dr. Sunday Adelaja. First is the faith that he had in me, his love, his time that he gave me personally. You know, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, he's a great man, but he always finds time for me personally, and you know, he believed in me. This helped me in my life a lot, and his love, his unconditional love. So this is what I personally thank Dr. Sunday for his faith in me, for his love, and for his time for personal mentoring in my life. The next thing that I want to thank Dr. Sunday is for opportunity that he gave me to work with him during 5 years very close to him. So this is a really opportunity, and this opportunity really changed my life because the best thing to learn is to be with your teacher, with your mentor closely in work, not just by words, but see every step, everything, and this practically. And this is a big opportunity, and I tell you that this 5 years is better than 5 years. You cannot compare these 5 years with 5 years in university. University is good, you know, to be there, but opportunity to be daily, every working hard with Dr. Sunday. It's a bigger university in my life. So this is the second point that I want to thank Pastor Sunday. The next point is for his personal example. You know, me personally, in my family, I didn't so good example of my father. He was good, I love him, but you know, example plays very big role in our life, because this is like strong strong stamp in your life. That's and true. This give you opportunity, this give you a lot of things to move in life forward. So I want to thank Dr. Sunday for his personal example in every sphere of life, in pastoring, in family, as father, as pastor, as mentor, as helper, as friend, as brother. You know, I saw Pastor Sunday in every sphere of life as example. So I want to thank the pastor for this example. This is very strong point. Also, the next point, I want to thank pastor for help in different difficult situation in my moments in my life.
For his support.
Yeah, for his support in a different situation in my life. So pastor is always supporting people, but today I want to thank him about supporting me in a very important situation, moments in my life when I really needed support. The next point, I want to thank pastor for his teaching, for his knowledge, for in also in everything, in every sphere of lives, in every different topic of lives. So I want to thank pastor because really all of this knowledge make me wiser, make me who am I today also, and my life today is more easy to live, and I love my life today more than I did it before. So thank you, Pastor, for everything.
That's Pastor Natalia Polida. Awesome.
Yes. Pastor Natasha, Pastor Natalia, you are a little bit of a saint in this team. You've been with me since 19? 20?
19.
Yeah, so she's been with me since she was 19 years old. Young girl, I still remember her with the guitar.
For 24 years,
For 24 years.
I met Pastor.
Yeah, so Pastor Natasha has been with me for 24 years. You cannot deny that, right? That somebody has been with you for 24 years, that has to be a special relationship right there. So Pastor Natasha, I believe that God is going to use you in extending the thing that God has helped me to bring to the world in self-education and in personal development. Self-education and personal development. And I think that that's your calling, and you are going to be able to bring life to many people and be able to be extension of what DSA has brought to the world. So thank you for all your support for these 24 years, Pastor Natasha. Much love.
I would like to congratulate Dr. Adelaja. It's his birthday, and let English audience excuse me now. I will continue in Russian because I prepared in Russian, but you can read my congratulatory on Facebook page. So now I will continue in Russian.
You can go beside.
Я продолжу на русском, ваше позволение.
Я лучше, если вдруг хорошо будешь.
Я хочу начать с того поздравления, которое я вам
The
написала.
congratulations that I already sent to DSA and posted on social media because I want to say it out loud.
Кому честь, тому честь.
And I said, honor to
Мы
those,
должны быть честными
honor where it's due,
и давать то,
because I
что
think that it's
заслуживаем.
honest to give honor to
Однажды
those who
Иисус
have
сказал,
deserved it. Jesus once said,
отдавайте Кесарева
give
Кесарю,
to Caesar's
а
what is
Бога-
Caesar's,
а Богу
and
Божье.
to God what
То
is
есть это
God's.
означает, давайте то,
So,
что кто заслужил, тому, что
what
принадлежит.
someone is due,
И
give
поэтому
it to him.
нельзя скрыть
And
правду.
that's why I can't
И,
hide the
я
truth.
должна отдать честь, кому честь.
I must give
И,
honor where honor is
пастор
due.
Сулейба — это человек,
And
который
DSA
действительно
is a
заслужил.
person who has definitely earned honor.
Почему я думаю, что кому честь, тому честь?
Why do I
И,
think that I need
к
to
примеру,
give credit and
один
honor
честь —
where
это
it
генералам.
is due?
И мы
I think
чествуем сегодня Божьего
a
генерала.
good example is
Я
generals.
читала книги
The
о
generals are
Божьих
given honor
генералах,
for all
и
they've
меня
done.
вызвало
And
неимоверное восхищение к
Sunday
ним.
Adelaja is a general of God as well. I
Что
read a
самое
book
интересное,
called God's
что
Generals,
когда
and
читала,
I was so
понимаешь, что я
amazed by
сейчас
all the
рядом
stories that I
нахожусь
read.
тоже с одним из
But as I
них.
was reading all
Хотя
these
пока
stories
не
of God's
написано в
generals,
первой
I just
книге о
realized
Божьих
that
генералах,
I
во второй,
am serving right
но
next
это
to a
еще
God's
будущее.
general of God. Even if
Если мы посмотрим,
Pastor
кто
Sunday's
такой
story isn't in
генерал,
the story of one of
Божий
God's
генерал,
generals books yet,
это
that's
тот
in the future.
человек,
A
который
general of God is a person
принес
who
спасение
brought
множеству
salvation
людей.
to a large amount of
И
people.
мы можем засвидетельствовать,
And
что мы
we,
принесли
we are
спасение
the
Божьим
evidence
тысячам
that
людей.
Sunday
Божий генерал
Adelaja
это
has
тот,
already
кто
brought
повлиял
salvation
на
to
историю
thousands
христианства.
of people.
Мы
A
свидетели,
general
что
of
вы
God has
повлияли на
changed the
историю
history of
христианства,
Christianity.
повлияли в
We
Украине, вы
can
влияете в
we can witness
Нигерии.
to the fact,
И
testify
это
to the
факт,
fact
который мы тоже
that
должны
Sunday
признать.
Adelaja
Поэтому
has changed the
самая
history of
честь.
Christianity in
Божий
Ukraine and in
генерал
the
это
world.
тот,
So
который
I'm going to give
защищает
honor where honor is due.
определенную территорию,
A general of
которую
God
за нее
defends a
воюет.
certain territory and fights for it.
Вы
And
воюете и
you have been
защищаете
fighting for
неимоверно
and
территорию Царства
defending
Божьего.
this
С
territory of the
огромными
kingdom of God
усилиями,
in
с
incredible
огромными
ways,
жертвами.
with
Но как
huge
настоящий генерал,
power,
который не
with
покидает
huge
поле
losses,
боя,
but like a true
вы
general
не
that never
сдаетесь,
leaves the
потому что вы
field
не
of
имеете права
field of
сдаваться,
war, you
что
do
бы ни
not give
было.
up, because you do not
Это
have the right to
принятое
give
решение,
up
от которого не
as
отступить.
a
Генералы не
general.
убегают, они
Generals do
не
not
говорят,
run
что
away.
тяжело, им плохо,
They
им
don't say it's
что-то там.
hard, I feel
Они
bad,
ведут за
it
собой
hurts,
армию.
because they're leading an army
И
after
Божий генералов есть также
themselves.
армия, и она у вас
And
есть. Это
generals
жертва,
have
которую
armies,
возродили
and you have one
тысячи
too.
учеников по всему миру.
DSA has
И
thousands of
поэтому
thousands of
доказательство,
disciples all over the
что
world.
Божий
He
генерал.
has the churches that he founded, and
Я
that is just more
благодарю
proof that
Бога
he is
за
a
то, что
general
я
of
имею
God.
честь
That's why I am
не
grateful to
только
God
жить
that
одно
I
время с
have the
Божьим
honor
генералом.
not only to live in
Я
the same
имею
time
честь
period,
знать
to
его
live
лично,
in
я имею честь
in the
работать с
same
этим
time
Божьим
period as a
генералом.
God general of God.
Благодарю
I
Бога
can
и
know
честь
this
была за
general
это.
and work with this
И
general,
также хочу
and that's
сказать,
why I
что
want to
также
give honor where honor is due.
мотивирует
And I
дальше.
also want to say that
Это
I've been
ваша вера в
motivated to
Бога,
go
это
on
ваше доверие к
by
Нему, это
DSA's
помогает мне
faith,
тоже
by
доверять
DSA's
Богу.
trust
Я
in God,
учусь,
that helps me
наблюдаю по
trust
этому
in God,
примеру.
and I am
Потому что
watching
если
and
вы
learning
не
by
сказать, на
example.
что
Because if
продолжаете
you,
доверять,
against
это
all
дает
the
мне
odds,
основание,
continue
что
trusting
это
in
тоже
God,
могу.
that gives me the
Если вы не
strength to
будете ставить
believe and continue trusting
грандиозные,
in God as well.
масштабные цели и
If you
проекты,
are
это дает мне
ready to keep
тоже
on going in such
основание,
massive goals and
что
projects,
мне тоже
then
не
that
стоит
gives me a
бояться. И вот
foundation
такие
telling
цели,
that
они должны
teaches
быть
me
для
there's
Бога
nothing for me to be scared of if I have a godly goal. Your love towards to people is always just making me amazed. How is it even possible to love people that much? It turns out it is possible because I am one of the people who has experienced that love, and I see that your exceptionalities allows me not to fear being different and allows me to be myself and to be myself. Your intelligence causes me to get interested in self-education, and your system building and your love for Ukraine and Nigeria is always waking up my conscience and making me think, what have I done for my country? What have I done for the world? There's also so many more things that I can say, so let me tell you my 5 points. I'm thankful to you. This is what I'll always say, for opening God to me and allowing me to live walking with God, for your uninhibited love, for your teachings and your books, because they have formed a personality in me, because they have given me a foundation. My parents have given me a life and an upbringing, but you've taught me a value system that has taught me how to live, that you've helped me to make my tiny impact on this world. And even if I have to go to the Father tomorrow, I'll know that at least there's something that I've done on this earth. And also I'm really grateful that you were able to pass on a love for eternity to me, and that you've taught me how to be ready for eternity, the same way that we get ready for heaven, because we start with God and finish with God, and so we need to set our affections upon the eternal. You said that you're already 53, but 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 is infinity. So 53 is just a tiny, small a part of your infinity, of your eternity, and you've got so much ahead of you, and
отлично, я думаю.
the start of your life has been amazing, and now you're going to keep on going and have a new start at 53. So what do I have to wish you on your birthday? The grace of God, so that everything that God has commissioned you to do will turn out well, and for God's providence and God's grace, so that everything works out, and may God bless and protect you and your family. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Galina. But when I read your message this morning, I was thinking that everything is true, but I don't think that you believe to the end everything you wrote there. Because you wrote there that how my examples help you. So how you see how I love people, you see how I love Ukraine, you see how I sacrifice for people and everything. And I'm thinking, you also have the same potential like me. You also have the same possibility, and you are saying it every day. And you say you are living with a God's general. So, well, you have opportunity either to become a God's general too, or you have an opportunity to become maybe an observer, who you are right now. You are right now acting more as an observer. And then the third one, I think that is not you, because people are only divided into three groups: the history makers, observers, and critics. Well, you don't belong in the last group, but right now you are in the second group. Maybe you need to go from second group to first group. And so you need to go to the first group because, for example, I know for myself, the abilities that you have, that you could use to be your platform to change the world. But I don't see you using it. For example, I know that you have the invention about relationship with parents and men, but you see the way I use my own potentials. I don't even have the gift and potential that you have. But the little one that I have, the little light that I have, I let it shine. So the little thing that I have, the little ability that I have, I maximize it. But I think you have bigger than me in some areas, but I don't see you maximizing it.
You will see it soon.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay, I hope so, because you could become a household name, because every country has families, every town has families, every home, you could be touching every human being on the earth, and that's just one. Then you have a book on parents. Everybody has a parent. Every body comes from a parent. But I don't see you using it to become God's general. It's like you are happy just being an observer, but you are writing it for me. And I think you should use it for yourself too. Okay, thank you.
Right. Let's see.
Значит, придется.
Dear Pastor, congratulations on your birthday. And I want to thank you for your constant impact on my life. Thank you that you introduced me to God. Thank you that you gave me an instruction book for life. Thank you that you let me be a part of your home group. Thank you that with your teachings You helped me change myself and reach results. Thank you that you helped me realize myself in Ukraine as a scientist, as a social activist, and as an organizer of different projects and conferences. I'm grateful to you for all of my results, because if not for you, none of this would have ever happened. And I never could have even dreamed of what I'm doing now. And thank you that you have allowed me to be a part of your team, to live in this house, to observe you and to work with you. Thank you for your endurance. Thank you that you showed me the path to self-education and self-perfection. Thank you that you've endured my complicated personality and helped me change my character. And thank you that you always gave me a chance, even when it felt like no one else would. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for constantly supporting me, and just everything that I have achieved so far is because of you, and I praise God for you. And I think if you hadn't been here, I wouldn't have achieved anything. I also want to wish for God to bless you.
So, Olena, thank you so very much for your greetings. My guys, can you go and bring more shares? I don't have more shares. So I think the greatest problem that I have with you, and which I think is your biggest weakness, is that you need to speak English. Yeah, because without speaking English and without learning English, you are depriving the world. Adelaja Mir, you are depriving the world of a lot of blessings that the world could have through you. You are limiting your success, and I think that's your biggest problem. So I would really like to advise you to do what Pastor Elena has done, and
Вот же телевизор нельзя закрывать. У нас главный.
Сюда. So I would like to encourage you to go and get a class or a teacher to speak and practice English. That way it will make you be ready and prepared for your future, and it will make you to be more effective in the gifts and abilities that God has given to you. So thank you for your greetings.
It's
Mrs. Adelaja, are you ready to speak? You're ready. All right.
Yes.
So you want me to show Pastor something?
Yeah, that will be later on. Maybe we should show it now first, or would it be afterwards? Because probably towards the end.
No, as your wish is our command.
Yeah.
Towards the
Okay.
end.
So, Pastor, yeah. Let me just. Should I go ahead?
Yes. Yes. Please do. Please go ahead.
Okay. Happy birthday, Dr. Sunday. God bless you. Amen. Every single day, I thank God for connecting me with you. I've titled my testimony, The Impact of Your Voice of Truth in My Life. The impact of your voice of truth ignited hope in my life. And it's so funny, because now I'm using my notes because I don't want to miss out some vital points, okay? I was at a place where I'd lost hope that I would ever, be able to accomplish any of my dreams. You know, when I was younger, I was born in England. Then after about 6 years, we went back to Nigeria. So I attended primary school and secondary school and college and everything, and came back to England. But while I was in Nigeria, um, every now and then, you know, I would notice that my attention was drawn to our environment. There was just something not quite right. I was very young. I didn't know what it was, but I would see pictorial visions of everything was just so disorganized. And, you know, at times, these things would really irritate me to the point that I'll be physically sick, you know. And then another time I would have visions of how it would look like, you know. And because I was so young then, I didn't know how I could get from being the environment, you know, the community being the way it was, to where the pictorial vision that I was seeing. So all these things was going on in my mind. But all I kept saying to myself is that one day I would be able to fix this problem. And every time, you know, just often I would still see these visions, you know, of how the community that I grew up in, you know, how it could be better. So, I mean, I went on into my late teenage years. You know, I went to school and early 20s, you know, finished college and everything. And life just, you know, happened that way. You know, I was just following the normal routine of life, education. You know, you get a job and then you get a husband, you get married, you start a family, and religion happened. And, you know, after all that, I'd had all our children, and there was still something missing within me. You know, I could feel that I wasn't fulfilled, I wasn't satisfied. And I kept, you know, going up and down with my husband that, look, this thing is still bothering me. This thing, I'm still seeing it in dreams and visions. And one Saturday afternoon, it was summer of 2016. I was talking with Tunde about, you know, maybe gathering, uh, you know, Africans in the diaspora, maybe gathering them somewhere on a platform or something like that. And I was going to call it Submit a Skill, because I feel like even though we're here and it looks like everything is okay, you know, but Nigeria needs fixing. There's something that we need to do. There's a reason why God, for instance, me, allowed me to be born in the United Kingdom. There's a reason why each and every one of us is allowed or have the opportunity to come into a developed country, and we have to do something about that. So, you know, this afternoon, I was talking to Tunde about, you know, we have to start a platform. And I want to name that platform Submit a Skill. How I was going to go about it, I don't know. What? I didn't have a clue then, but I was just saying, sorry. So I was just, you know, just going on about that. Then I received a text on my phone that afternoon, and that was from our friend Olaudu Olaoye. I don't normally pick up my calls or a text, you know, if I'm having a conversation with someone, but that day I pressed it. When I clicked on that text, I just saw Dr. Sunday, and I saw him talking about the Nigerian Transformation Project. And I just screamed, wow, look at this. We're just discussing Nigeria. We're discussing what we need to all do, or what I was trying to, you know, set up to gather, you know, Africans in the diaspora and see. So from that point onwards was when I got connected with Dr. Sunday. And, you know, at that point in time, everything, I had no confidence. I had lost my self-worth. A lot of drama happened in my life while I was in Nigeria. There was physical abuse, there was verbal abuse that had crushed me inside. It was like I didn't have a hope for life. Okay, so I just thought there is nothing. You know, I'd gotten to an age in my life, and I just thought there's no way. But I started listening to Dr. Sunday, you know, how to regain your lost years, and I thought, wow, is this really possible? And I continued with him. You know, then he had a series on confidence, how to, you know, build back your confidence. The title I can't remember very well. And I continued listening to all that. And a change, a transformation began on the inside of me. I suddenly, you know, with the knowledge that I was receiving with being under his mentorship, I began to see the possibility of my life becoming something again, because I had resulted in faith, F-A-T-E, that maybe that was it. But being connected with him and coming under his mentorship just totally transformed who I am. You know, sometimes I would say, you know, to him that your voice did something to me. Your voice, you know, that voice, I call the voice of truth that ignited life on the inside of me. Your voice, Dr. Sunday, is the voice of love that I lacked. Your voice was the voice of care that I did not have. Your voice was the voice of compassion in my life. Your voice gave me peace, happiness. Your voice was the voice of fatherhood in my life. Your voice brought joy and peace. Your voice is the voice of encouragement. It encouraged me, brought me out of that life's despair. You know, I was crushed within, but your voice resurrected life back in me. Your voice was the voice of my future, because you told me via that book how to regain your life, your lost years, that you can, regardless of how many years you have lost. As long as I have breath, I have a future. Your voice was the voice of tomorrow in my life. Your voice is the voice of restitution, of reformation, of transformation, of restoration, the voice of establishment. Your voice, even with everything that's happening, is a voice of forgiveness. Your voice thunders the heartbeat of God. Your voice is the voice of the kingdom of God and the voice of the authority of God. Your voice, Dr. Sunday, is the voice of life to me. Your voice pulled me out of confusion. Your voice repositioned me for greatness, reactivated my self-confidence. Your voice taught me how to discover myself and my purpose. Your voice taught me that life is a school and time is life. Your voice taught me that life is predictable and that I should value life and use it wisely. Your voice, Dr. Sunday, is the voice of truth and the voice of life to this world. And, you know, I just really want to thank you for all that you do for humanity. I also want to thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to be part of the Millionaires Secret Mentorship Group. Because, you know, I would say that money dominated me. Money was controlling me because I'd grown with the knowledge that you work for money, and you know, and money is just meant, you know, for survival. And all it was for me was to work, get money, pay my bills, and I would be satisfied. I had no clue about, the laws of money or the principles that, the principles of money, and that it is easy that I could even get money for the dreams that I had, because I'd lost all hope in the dream that I have regarding Nigeria and every other thing else with regards to helping people find their identity. And I thought to myself that, these lessons that I'm learning with regards to money, that I want to do something about it, because a lot of people are ignorant about the fact that, everyone can become a millionaire. So I created a poster, and Dr. Anu will show you that right now. This came late. They've printed it wrong because it's meant to really cover the whole poster. That this should be in every home. This was taken from your book, How to Find Money for Your Dreams, because it's so easy that when we save money, that we can multiply money, and there's a possibility that everybody can become a millionaire if they follow these principles and these laws, you see. So I'd come up with this poster, and I'd taken that table from the book, and to show people how easy it is. If you save, like, for instance, $300 a month, how much you would accrue in a year, and and so on to 40 years, and you can become a millionaire. You see, if this is in every home, people would not be dominated by money, or running empty skelter because of money and being ruled by mammon. I just really want to thank you, because I don't know where my life would have ended if I had not met you. And being on the team is also, a privilege to serve the purposes of God and to serve humanity. So I want to thank you. I am privileged and I'm grateful to God for connecting me with you and your family and the whole team. And I pray that God will continue to preserve you. You are blessed beyond blessings, and it doesn't really matter what is flying on in the air. There's nothing anybody can do with it. They need to just go back to God and make their complaints. But it is what it is. You have been called to this world, and everything that you have been called to do will be accomplished. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunday. I've rushed through everything somehow, but you would read it as something to Dr. Agnes. My testimony is there.
I'm so impressed. I'm so blessed and impressed by this. I want to say thank you so very much.
Yes, sir.
Только шоу. Да.
Значит, ты заново начинаешь.
Не. Это YouTube, он заново. Он продолжает.
So, Mrs. Dsa'S, I really want to. I didn't know you are this eloquent. So yes, I didn't know you are this eloquent. So I want to challenge you to definitely go. Another T-shirt. Definitely go and start your own YouTube program. I mean, live broadcast or recorded broadcast or YouTube broadcast, anyhow. But if you let this gift go without communicating to the world, your knowledge, your abilities, your understanding, your wisdom, and your lessons of life, just like you have done now, then you are going to answer questions before God, because you are going to be depriving God of some blessings. So even this class alone, this topic alone you just spoke about the money and about the photograph there, and things that are in my book, and things that you could bring out to the world, and even your understanding of Nigeria and vision, all the things you have spoken about, you have just buried yourself. You have done what Miles Monroe was talking about, that burial ground and cemetery is, you don't want to go for your gifts and abilities to go to the cemetery, and that's what you have been doing so far, because you have not released them to the world. So they have been in the cemetery but now it is not too late. That cemetery could still be cancelled, and you could still release that to the world. So I will challenge you that, as soon as possible, get your thoughts together, make a list of your of different topics that you want to address, and begin to address the world, begin to release life, and you're so much wisdom but so much eloquence. I think there is going to be a lot of confidence from you to people, and you communicate confidence too. So that confidence that you communicate, must be received by people. And I also want to say, you have been a huge, huge encouragement and a blessing to us. I want to tell you that a huge blessing is also waiting for you. This lady has been working for us, for me, for at least three years or 4 years, maybe, for free. And 4 years. And she's working like 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, 16 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 18 hours a day, and not getting anything for it. So your blessing, you don't even know how much is ahead of you. And we appreciate you, love you, and thank you so much for the wonderful work. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Awesome. That is Mrs. Adelaja. Well, next is Maiwa. Maiwa, are you ready to speak?
Okay.
Got it.
Wow, what a hairstyle Mayowa has today. These are the kind of things I wanted you to have when you were having that short one. I like this one better than the short one.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I like these too. I like long hair.
Yeah, this is what I really like. This is really marvelous.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm starting to congratulate you before you congratulate me.
Sir, I love that. That's what I love about you, sir. I love so much about you. You don't hold back for anyone or for any reasons. And I could spend all day. I could be here all day talking about you, Pastor or Dr. Sunday, whatever anyone prefers. I could be here all day talking about you. I can't get tired talking about. But I know out of your levels of appreciation or gratitude is to express myself or to show my gratitude by carrying forward the things and the ways that you've taught me. I know that's the best way. That's how you appreciate things. And I'm working on that on a daily basis. I make sure that I do that. But let me just, thank you, everyone. So let me just say a little bit about Dr. Sunday. The reason I love you the way that you are. For me, when people say you should be a certain way or, you should try to improve yourself or be Christ-like, they just say it. They don't show it, okay? They tell you in terms of you should be like this, okay? This is how you should be. But you don't see it at all in their action. You don't see it at all in their daily life. And when I talk about Dr. Sunday, I'm not just talking about him himself. I'm talking about everything that is part of him, including Pastor Bosse and the children. Everything that is connected to him directly, they also shows you, give you the action of what you should be, the greatness that you should be, the goodness that you should be, the Christ-like that you should be in everything that they do on a daily basis. Of course, everyone, there is the human, the human aspect of us as human beings. We're infallible, nobody is infallible. So for that reason, they're human, and I understand that very well. So am I. So I can relate to that aspect of being human. But there's so much. I have too many testimonies. The best thing I've ever done is kind of living shop here in the United Kingdom and going to Dr. Sunday, going to meet with him. I personally, I loved him before I met him. When I saw him online in 2000, I think it was 2015 or 16. I'm not sure. I think it was in April anyway that year. And I just packed up and went to meet with him. And I stayed. It's unbelievable. I felt like, I found a home. I was at home. And he's not the only person that made a home for me, but he was the pinnacle. He was the person that first made a home for me. Dr. Pastor Bosse also made a home for me. The children made a home for me. Everybody made a home for me. Pastor Natalia made a home for me. So let me just give you some of the my fond memories of Dr. Sunday. One of my fond memories is Dr. Sunday being intentional. Intentional about everything, intentional about you, intentional about what he says, and saying what is inside of him. So let me start from the inside of me, inside of you thing. From being born into a Christian home and attending covens that you call church, or attending churches. Let me just be straight here. From attending churches, there is a set way of doing things and the set way that you are that everybody accepts. Dr. Sunday taught me not to accept whatever is in the world or what the world gives you or what the world shows you, that you should create yourself from the inside out. I know a lot of people must have heard this in his broadcast, and he does that. That's the connection with the intentional, is from the inside. So he would think that this is how I want to be. This is what God wants me to be. This, or, feel inside of him, and he will create that. So what that also means is that it gives a sense of peace. It gives you peace, not a sense of it. It gives you actual peace, because it doesn't matter what is outside. If you are resolved with what is inside of you, coming out from what is inside of you out, it doesn't matter what people throw at you, because you are the architect. You are the one creating what is inside. And that resonated well with me, because I also know that he that is inside, who is God, is greater. So that also go with what the word of God says, that he that is inside of you is greater than what is in the world. So when he's from in the inside, telling me that I need to be from the inside, like I need to come out from the inside out. It's not that what happens outside. So you don't have depression, you're not worried about anything, you're not worried about or concerned about things that is happening outside or what other people are doing. So he taught me that. He taught me that perfectly, that now I can live such a life that I'm not concerned, I'm not worried, and I can be a great example to others, as he has been an example to me. And again, that is not just Dr. Sunday. Pastor Bosse also does that. To me, they are both one together. So she also does that, where, what's going on out there? It doesn't matter. She doesn't even ask the question. So they're teaching me. So they're teaching me how to be a person, a human being, a personality, or they taught me. And Pastor Bosse also taught me how to be a woman, a female, in the world where there's a lot of confusion, a lot of contradiction, with religion, with humans, everybody, they're confused. But this family, this person, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, there's no confusion. He knows who he is, how he is. It's not about boasting, it's beyond confidence, So in his world, there's a world, he is a world in the world. So can you imagine being around him? It's like you are in another world, in this world, and he expresses that. He expresses another world. He's not even moved, he's not perturbed by what is happening. So that is a fantastic lesson that I've learned from Dr. Sunday. The other thing that I've learned is, people talk about love and they talk about, I'll just take it one by one instead of combining love and truth together. In terms of love, people talk about love and they just throw it out there, you love somebody, romantic love, non-romantic, all type of love. Dr. Sunday explained the different type of loves, and also he expresses those love. One of those love is that, for example, now today, when I came on, Dr. Sunday saying that, this is how he loves my hair. This is how he, this is, he loved this style rather than the short one. That is an expression of love to me. I understand that in the way that, he with what goes on, or with how people would like him to be, in quote unquote, Most people would not say that. It's like, oh, don't say that to a young girl. Don't say something like that to a young girl. But because he loves me, not in a way that, is perversive, but because he loves me and he understands love, the focus is not to withhold his love because what people would say. The focus is to express his love. So again, that's a lesson to me. And that is always a lesson to me. He would express that love to show me that, saying that. I mean, imagine somebody saying that they love your hair. How would you feel? How do you feel? You feel great. And expressing that in spite or despite of anything that other people would say, despite people attacking him or saying anything about him, he would still express that love. For me, that is an example of love. And, that's also how God is. That is how Jesus is for me. It's like he loves us in spite of me. He loved me before I was born. He loved me despite anything that anybody would say about me. God loves me without anything, regardless of what I do. And that's the same thing with Dr. Sunday. Regardless of what anybody would say or how anybody will feel, he will still love you. It's not what you do or what anybody does that is going to inform his decision on what to do. Again, it connects back to living from the inside out. He lives from the inside because there's a God inside of him, and he truly activates that God. He activates, he knows that there's a God inside of him, and he activates it, and he helps me also to activate that. The other thing about truth, and again, I'm putting out these key things because these are things that we put out, or we say, or we claim, or we express as individual that we want. We want love, we want truth, we want to be free and speak the truth and do what we feel that is right. But we say it, but we don't do it. Again, Dr. Sunday, in terms of truth, it gives you example of truth. He shows you that, this is true. It's not the truth. It's not just in the true sense of saying that, because myself, I can tell you the truth. I can say that, though, in my view, I think that you look like this, or in my view, I don't like you, or in my view, this. That is my truth I'm sharing with you. But he goes beyond that. He goes deeper than that. The truth, in order to the truth that Dr. Sunday will share with you is a depth of truth that will help you to create. It's a truth of creation. It's not just a truth of, this is an iPhone, or this is we're live. There's deeper than that. There's something more behind that. There's something deeper than that. And it helps you to go deeper than that and see the truth for creation, not just for expression. So it's not, the truth is for creation rather than for expression, that you want to just say something. So I love that. I hope I'm clear. The other thing is that some of the things that I experienced with Dr. Sunday, there was a time where, because I like to balance things up. Dr. Sunday is so unlike any other person. So in my mind, I always say it's a creature unlike any other person. I share that sometimes as well. And the times that Dr. Sunday tells me off, when he tells me off, that's also the expression of truth and how he is. So he would tell me off about something, but he tells me off about that thing to inform me. It's not to emulate me or make me feel less of a person. It's to inform me. And there was one time where I cut my hair. I cut my hair on the side all of a sudden. As I do what the things that I want to do, that I feel like I want to do. So that Sunday when I came from the barber. I was in Ukraine then. I came from the barbers, and that Sunday saw it and said, "Oh, this is not right." Just like he said with the hair now, like, no, this is not right. I hope you're not going to go live with this, like this, with the hair. And I said, I am going to go live on it. That's how I intend to. And he said, no, I don't think so. And there was somebody else there, which was Dr. Sunday's cousin. He was sitting there with him. And Dr. Cousin and somebody else also was there. Some people expressed that they like, some people said they don't like. So anyway, I think Dr. Sunday's cousin spoke to Dr. Sunday that, oh, you don't tell somebody like that, or, kind of tell her that she can't do this or is a woman or something. I don't know what she said. Up to today, I don't know exactly what he said. But the interesting thing and what I want to tell you is that Dr. Sunday came back, came running, oh, Mayowa, I want to tell you, look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say this, to make you feel bad about your hair or this. I'm just telling you how, I think you look beautiful, you still look beautiful. And, quickly, can you imagine somebody expressing how they feel and somebody else giving them another opinion of it and expressing and explaining that opinion to him, and he ran immediately. For me, I didn't understand that kind of humility. That humility to me was it was beyond what I expected. I was in his house. He expressed how he feels, and somebody else could tell him that, look, this is not right. And he came and he said, look, this is not what I mean. If that's what I'm portraying, that's not what I mean. And you can be as you want on the live program. You can do whatever you want. How you want. Be yourself how you are created, how you want to be. That to me again is not just about humility. It is that in that moment he also created me, and that's why I said about truth about creation. He also created me. He left a footprint inside of me. He did something that informs me that you can say something or express something. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative. It's an expression, but another opinion can quickly be arrived at, and we can have a difference of opinion as well. And ultimately, also, he taught me, that look how humble he came, and he apologized immediately. He came and said, look, I'm sorry about that, or how I expressed. So to me, it's not just all of the great things that we talk about him. He is very human. Yeah, he's very human, and that to me again shows an expression of Jesus. Is that's how Jesus is. He came to earth to be like us. And Dr. Sunday is always showing how he is human. If he says something that is not the way that people think, or he makes mistakes, he would say, look, I did this. Look, this wasn't the right way that I should do it. And that to me is amazing. That to me is love. That to me is truth. Another thing that, maybe many people don't know, like there are many situations, but there are two that I remember very clearly where first one was when somebody came to Ukraine. The person came from England and stayed in, and suddenly, unannounced, just came and said she wanted to see Dr. Sunday to pray for her. And she had, what we eventually realized that it was a mental health issues. And, we talked about it. Everybody tried to give her information. There were doctors around trying to help her. But the one amazing thing that Dr. Sunday did was late at night, okay, Dr. Sunday did a lot of research after we spoke, because we spoke today quite late in the night. But when I'm talking late at night, it's actually the early hours of the morning, maybe 3 a.m. Dr. Sunday was doing research about the topic, about the health issues. And Dr. Sunday sent me a whole host of videos and articles to share with the lady, because he doesn't have her contact directly. So he sent it to me. I think it was 3 a.m. in the morning. He was doing research on that topic. Even when you have forgotten about yourself, the topic is over, the issue is over. What manner of love is that? When he should be in his bed, sleeping, or not even bothered, he spent hours. We've already spent hours in the evening, from evening to late evening with this person, with many people speaking and talking about the person's health and sharing the person's and the person sharing their challenges. But he still went back for hours with all the schedules that he has, with everything that Dr. Sunday had to do. Went back and did this research, sent it to me to share with the lady, and he's going to continue and do more research, give her example of great people. And it wasn't just research, anything like, just take any articles. He also got articles of celebrities, of great people, great achievers that have the same issue that lady has. So the lady wasn't feeling good. The lady felt like she was condemned in society. So he brought different articles, different videos of people's testimony about how they have this problem as well, how they've been functioning in society, the challenges that they have. so that that lady can know that she's different, okay, but it doesn't make her bad. It doesn't make her less of a human. It doesn't make her not. It doesn't mean that Christ or God is not in her, that God is not in a case, or amazing things like that. He did that for me as well. I was also diagnosed with diabetic. Like I will, like, okay, not directly, like pre-diabetic. And Dr. Sunday, when I came home and I told him that, look, they said that my blood sugar, HB2, H2B, the blood sugar for diabetic is very high, for the first time. And that's why some of the symptoms that I'm having, this and that. And I know because I had family, the whole of my family, immediate family, they are diabetic. So when I came home, I told him, and I wasn't too shocked because in England, I've been tested on a yearly basis for the past maybe 15 to 20 years to check me for it. So it usually goes up and down. So when I came back, again, Dr. Sonny did that for me. He did so much research. He sent me videos, the kind of food that I should eat. So that day I came back, that night he did the same thing. 2, 3 in the morning, he was putting together research, videos of the different things that I can do, how I should eat. He called both Dr. Sunday and Pastor Bosse made arrangements in the kitchen of the kind of food that I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, what I should be served. Everybody was involved. They don't know me from anywhere. Those kind of love. And like I said, I could go on and on and on. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But another thing that I do want to say about Dr. Sunday is that a lot of people think that Dr. Sunday, is maybe is a bit, what should I say? Kind of like I don't want to use the word, is lenient. Like he just allow anybody willingly or anything to come to him. That and time after time he is burnt. Yeah. And even being burnt, he doesn't make any changes. He will still, allow people to come to him and everything. I mean, that's a big lesson to me because that I also had a little trouble. I had a lot of arguments and fights with Dr. Sunday over that, this person, you shouldn't let this person come to you because this person is like this or whatever. Dr. Sunday forgives very easily. Dr. Sunday also forgets easily. He doesn't hold any kind of grudges or anything negative against anybody. He guards his heart. That's how he guards his heart. He guards his heart by making sure that he doesn't have any negativity towards anybody in his heart. Rather than guarding your heart is like, he taught me another thing. Some people guard their heart by staying away from people. No, he guards his heart by not allowing negativity to overwhelm him or allowing negativity in him. So another thing, I've been warned. Hold on, let me quickly finish. Another thing about Dr. Sunday that you need to know in terms of guarding his heart, not the way that we all guard our hearts and stay away, but in not allowing negativity, not allowing anything that is not according from his inside out with love to overwhelm him or to come to his mind or stay in his mind. Is that Dr. Sunday also says that you don't live out of fear. Okay, that is an amazing lesson for me. That your actions, what you do, is not going to be based on the fear of what might happen. It has to be based on love. So if you're going to take any action at all, it will not be because, oh, I'm afraid that this is going to happen, or I'm afraid something is going to happen. No. It's going to be, this is going to mean love. So your action would be based on love rather than based on fear. Dr. Sunday has taught me a lot. I could go on and on. This is the tip of the iceberg that I shared with you guys. I could share a lot more about Dr. Sunday, how amazing he is. He can look at you and know that, oh, there's something wrong. Even if somebody is telling him that this person is like this, he doesn't express negativity onto that person. He will show them the love. So even if you know that this person is or really like that, rather than him, stay away and act like, okay, you are like this, people are told me that, I can see that you are like that. You will show them love so that maybe they can take that full step, so that maybe they can do otherwise. But if they don't, it still doesn't have any problem. You understand that if God put something in his mind, what is in another person's mind also might be an expression of God in God's way. You know, it lets you be, and it allows you to be who God really wants you to be, if also you allow yourself. You truly live from the inside out. Dr. Sunday, to me, you are a world in a world, okay? You are a world in a world. People have to understand that. And people that are not in your world, they may never understand you. And you, that you are in the other world, you also may never understand Dr. Sunday because you are in another world. If you come to his world, you might understand him, and he will never come to your world because he is in their world on his own. And that world is an amazing world. It's in a world full of love, full of courage, full of encouragement, full of sincerity, full of creation, full of power, full of empowerment, full of greatness. So you can join that world and join Dr. Sunday. I wish you a happy 53rd birthday. I wish I was there to hug you, to kiss you, to hold your hands, whatever. I wish I was there. You know, if I was there, it would have been great for me. And even though when I'm not there, my thought of you is high, and my thought of you is respect with love, pure love, just like you taught me. Thank you so much. And, you know, this thank you is not just for Dr. Sunday, it's also for Pastor Basse and the children and the team as well. The team, thank you very much for supporting Dr. Sunday. I always feel like a mommy that I need to be there. I need to be there to God to do this. But I'm rest assured because he also impacted me with that even when I'm not here, he's being looked after. Before me, God looked after him. Me, when I'm there, God looks after him. When I'm not there, God looks after him and his family and the team. So love you all for looking after each other, for looking after Dr. Sunday. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you so very much, Maiwa, because when I was listening to you, I was saying, I'm so happy that there are people in this world that know my heart and know who Sunday Adelaja really is. Because so much confusion out there about the person of Sunday Adelaja. But when I listen to you, because people have advised me this week, especially after what happened with the lady, that I shouldn't bring people close to me at all. That I should just lock my environment and lock people out. I've been hearing that forever. But after this particular one, almost everybody told me, don't let people come near to you again. That is what you have to do. You just have to do it. So, but hearing this, I say that if I had not, because of what has happened one time, if I had not brought all these people who have spoken so far close to me, because somebody else had done something bad, then I won't be hearing what I'm hearing now, because they won't have had the opportunity to know me the way they know me now. But I still, despite that, I still think that I will need Mayowa to come back very soon. So get ready. You know, be getting ready over there in the UK, because we'll need you back very soon. And one of the reasons we'll need you back is exactly because of that. I see Mayowa as a gatekeeper, someone that is capable of weeding off all the wrong influences and the wrong characters sometimes. So, you know, she has really been a blessing. For example, this morning, was it this morning or yesterday, I was speaking to Pastor Bosse that there's something I needed to do, and the only person who was doing this for me was Mayowa, but she's not here now, so I really need help. And I couldn't find anybody to do it. Because it's not something you can praise people for. It's not a very pleasant something. But Mayowa is not afraid of unpleasant assignments. that's why I discovered that I really need that back as fast as possible. So thank you so very much, Maiwa. I need you back for another reason. I need you back to begin to resume your daily broadcast because too many people are giving me trouble because of that. Too many people are writing me and asking, where is Maiwa, where is Maiwa? We are missing our programs. So I need you to be back to start, to continue your revolution. And yeah, so, but the things that I've heard from you, I'm happy that there are things that you have noted. And I pray that other people will be able to note those things, or at least be able to hear the truth from people. Some of you are close to me. So thank you so very much, Mayowa, and keep on being beautiful the way you are right now.
Thank you, Maya.
So we still have a host of people. So we have to continue with the next person, but please let's also try to be conscious of the time, yeah, so that everybody can have the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Okay. Happy birthday, Pastor. It's my pleasure
What do
to
you call
be
this,
able
your style?
to. It's my style, Joshua's style. Because I don't know if any other person is doing what I'm doing. I just thought about it in my head. So
So you are a model as well and a creator, eh? Fashion designer, right?
we're coming after we're following your footsteps.
Creativity.
Yeah, because I remember when I saw some of your unique
Yes.
outfits.
I came up with them myself.
Yeah, you told me that day. I remember we were in the car going to one of the night programs, and you said I had to create it myself because I didn't like what I was seeing in the world, and I felt like if I'm going to be unique, I have to come up with my own unique style.
Yes.
So that resonated a lot with me because every single person has their own style, but very few people take the pain to go through what it takes to create it for themselves. So we're in the beginning phase of creating what we want and creating our own world the best way we can. So Isaac Newton, great mathematician, philosopher, physicist, he
Scientist.
said, scientist, one of the greatest and most influential in human history, said, if I have sinned farther than everyone else, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants. And I want to say that you are a giant, and whatever thing that I know, whatever thing that I'm going to do in the future, it's all because I've been able to stand, or I will be standing on your shoulders. You've been able to bring in knowledge, understanding, and portray things that I never thought were possible. Prior to meeting you, I thought that pastors and people only lived a certain way, but you're completely the opposite of every single thing that I thought. In fact, you were an extreme opposite, not just an opposite. And it was quite shocking initially, but it was also refreshing because I discovered that on the inside of me, I had some of these questions and worries, but I couldn't give words to them till I met you, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I've been, thinking about. That's what I've been feeling. So you gave an expression, not just in words, in philosophy, in ideas, but also in action and in the creation that we could all see of what I had in my heart. So you've really been a transformational figure for me, and you're the giants that I can say I'm standing on to be able to hope to do, the things that God has created me to do. So on my slides, I said, you have taught me to live the best way to live life. So I could go into all of the life principle series that you taught me. That is going to be absolutely no time for that. The next point, the cameraman is blocking me. All right. The next one, I said, you've taught me the best way to love God and love people. Your level of love is legendary. And a lot of people say they love people, but with you, you've taken it to a whole new level. Everything about you is on another level from what I've ever seen. Love is something everyone professes, but you really act it out. And even when you suffer for it, you still don't back down. You still remain resolute. You come from a place of love, not a place of fear, not a place of selfishness. You always think first about others before thinking about yourself. And it's astonishing because most times I'm thinking and I'm like, why is Pastor allowing this happen to him? Like, he doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to put himself in this position to face all of this abuse, these attacks, and all that. But I now understand, or with time, I came to understand that, look, you come from a place of love to do the things that you do, and
Not fear.
yeah, not fear or
Not pain.
not pain or concern. So even when you're in pain, as long as it's coming from a place of love, you're cool with it. And that's not something that many people are willing to do, because once we start feeling pain, love goes out the window. So you made me realize that love comes with pain. And that's not a common concept, because everyone just wants the parts of life and love that feels good. But you have shown me that, love is not about feelings. It's about your decision, and it's about your understanding and your willingness to sacrifice yourself for other people and for the greater good. The third point, you've taught me to lead the world, be the best, and dominate to God's glory. From the start, I always knew that I wanted to do something that was beyond just the confines of my state or anything. I always had this mindset of the world. And when I read about you, I saw your impact, and the thing that caught my attention was how much influence you were able to create for yourself and the kingdom of God here in Ukraine. So I began to try to learn that, and when I read Church Shift, that was the first book that transformed my way of thinking when it came to ministry. Every pastor I know is just within the church. Some try to go outside of the church, but none of them goes into politics. None of them goes into sports or government like you have done. So that has really transformed my life and has given me a new vision. It was able to also express in me what I liked, because in my church, where I used to be, when I talk about the world, I got rebuked by the pastors because they said I was being worldly. But when I looked at you, I saw that you were actually influencing the world, and I was like, yes, this is the way it's supposed to be. So that was one of the things that completely transformed my way of understanding, and I really love you for that. When I went back to Nigeria a couple of years ago and I started talking to people who were even pastors, they were surprised because everything I was saying was making sense, and some of them were asking, they were like, why didn't you think of this before? And I was just laughing in my heart. I was like, thanks to Pastor Sunday, I'm also thinking like that, and I'm not bringing the truth to people who are 20, 30 years in ministry and have never heard these things before. They were so astonished, and they were like, can you come and train us in our church as to how to do some of these things? So I like the passion that you have for leading the world. When I read the Bible, I see David led the world, Daniel led the world, but in our world today, we don't seem to have a lot of people at the forefront of things. Whatever you want to do, you want to be the best in the world at it. Every other person wants to be the best, maybe in their churches or in their cities or in their towns. You want to be the first in the world, and you're doing that already. And that has really spurred me on to understand that if you're really going to carry the kingdom of God to all the nations of the world and make this place a better place, we have to be able to push for the best in whatever we do. So that touches me every day. Whatever I'm doing, I hear your voice behind my mind saying, is that the best you can do? Is that going to be the best in the world? And that really makes me to want to sit up and do a lot better. So
not just the best among blacks.
Yeah, not just the best among blacks, but the best among whites, Hispanics, all over the world, out of the whole 7 billion population. Yeah, it has to be the very best. And even your vision for Nigeria, you're not saying you want to make Nigeria the giants of Africa or the best in Africa. You want Nigeria to be a place where the whole world will come and see and marvel at the things that they're doing. You want Nigeria to be number one. I remember the day, for example, since you brought this up, I remember the day we wrote the article on Nigeria leading America. It was crazy. You came into VIP that day, you were like, Nigeria can be the greatest nation in the world. And we thought you were just prophesying. But when we were done writing that article, it became clear that you were not just a man of vision, but you were a man of systems, you were a man of understanding, and you are somebody who has thought below the surface. You've really gone deep to find the roots as to how things are done, and you can build it up to make it into whatever you want it to be. So I really admire you for that. So that's the third point on you've taught me to how to dominate the world, and it's all to God's glory. You never really want to take credit for anything. You always attribute everything to God, because like you said, we're light, and it's also that men will see our good works and glorify our Father which is in heaven. So I celebrate you. I celebrate Pastor Boss here as well. She's such a queen. Many people give themselves queens these days. They call themselves queen this, queen that. And I look at it and I'm like, I don't see the qualities of being a queen. This is not
Don't
like...
get yourself into problem.
Yeah, like... They're playing on...
Leave it now.
Exactly. You know, we're people of truth. As much as I want to be diplomatic, dramatic.
He's leaving now.
Yes, this is too much for us to hide. Yes, the difference is too clear. It's like night and day. So when I look at many queens, I realize that they are queen of queens. So Pastor Bosse is a queen in every sense of the word, and Pastor Sunday makes me to want to really take my time in finding a wife. And I don't know whether I'll get it done before 40, but we hope that one day it will happen. And
better take your time and get the right one.
Oh yes, and I see your kids as well.
Go in and go out.
Oh yes. It's not even something that I want to play with. So Pastor Bosse is full of grace, full of wisdom, full of poise, and full of God, righteousness. She's passionate about the things of God. So each time I look at her, I'm so inspired, and it's such a beauty to just see you do the things that you do. It inspires me, and I've listened to other people as well. They get inspired by your leadership, your style, and your uniqueness. So I celebrate you as well, because if not for you, Pastor Sunday would have suffered a lot more than he's suffering right now. I can just tell you that you have really been a shield, you've been a stronghold, and you're just everything that, the Bible talks about a virtuous woman, a wife, and I'm just celebrating the fact that you've exemplified that for all of us to see. Because it's one thing to read these things, it's another thing to see it in practice, so that you can know that, look, this is not just an ideology, it's possible. You can accomplish it if you put your heart in. And your kids as well are such wonderful people, Zoe, Pearl. Paris, hope you joined online. I was chatting with him earlier in the UK. They are also brilliant kids, and they are driven. When you talk to them, you can see that they are not just superficial. They've got depth, they've got knowledge, and they have dreams that they're trying to accomplish. And they're not just people who were just raised,
Biomass.
like as biomasses, but they've got substance to them. And that's something that we're supposed to aspire to as well. So every aspect of your life, Pastor Sunday, is a lesson. You're an entire encyclopedia for us to learn from, and a practical example of what we're supposed to be. So I celebrate you, I say happy birthday, and I want to say thank you, but I know that thank you wouldn't do it till we practice and bring forth fruit. So that's what I hope to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Joshua. Since you spoke so eloquently.
Wow.
Let me give you are talking about wife. Since you don't have one yet.
Thank you, Pastor.
Let me start laying the ground for you like this.
Give me, please.
Don't let them take it from you.
Tackle him if he goes too far. All right.
So Joshua, by the way, I think your mom is also born the same month like me.
25th, a few days ago.
You see? So well, but the same time with her. So happy birthday to mom as well.
I'll let her know.
But Joshua, I was thinking that just like we were talking about, what I said about the thing that I wrote today. I wrote today to the world that in your 20, before 20, try to find your calling. In your, those are the ideal things. So, normally we don't live in an ideal world. Because in your 20s, you add value to yourself. And Joshua, you are one of the ones that have been able to come here in your 20s and have been able to take advantage of that to begin to add value to yourself in this place. So this house is like, people are talking about lockdown, but someone like you know what lockdown is.
Yes.
And God is the one who arranged our own lockdown, not COVID. Our own lockdown, our own prison. We created our own prison for ourselves. And it is this lockdown that has been able to help you. Did you be taxed, right? It is this lockdown that has able to help you, like myself, like other people who are passing through it, to also build character and to build the content that is now being visible to the world. I receive a lot of calls since you have started leading this or something. You are supposed to have started last year,
Yeah.
but you needed to.
I That's
modify it.
yeah.
Yeah, so, but since now that you are coming out to the world is noticing. Your visit to Nigeria is another part of it. So, you know, the time that you are spending in this house is not a wasted time, because the time of building and the time of building, adding values is not a wasted time. And that's what you people have discovered, because by the time you leave this house, it will be like atomic bomb leaving the store, leaving the laboratory, and you people are going to explode to the world, because you have the quality. Even the reviews that you did, people are still talking up to today about those reviews, and even though they were done 2-3 years ago. So get ready for the world, and let the world be getting ready. They don't know what will eat them. It's just like me. I was hidden. A lot of people didn't know about me. They never heard about me. Even before I started the church, I was just a student somewhere, but I was building qualities and values into myself. So when I started the church, I said I'm going to have a church of 1,000. Nobody even knows where are you coming from. But in 1 year, I've done it. Then when I started, I was mainly known in the Soviet and Russian-speaking world also before. But once I stepped out, because of the quality that has been built up inside, it's just become like an erosion, like explosion, like that, like a fountain. So keep on building yourself and be ready to explode to the world when the time comes.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right. I think we have
Yuri Demidenko.
Сейчас Юра будет говорить.
We have Yuri Demidenko there.
You have the word.
The only person who outshines me in colors. Я сказал.
Один человек, который... Единственный человек, который по цветам и по гардеробу даже превосходит меня.
Не всегда.
Not always.
Это, наверное, относится к первому пункту, который я написал.
So the first point that I have here is that I'm grateful that I have a father.
И это и основание,
And a father means a foundation,
подражание,
someone to imitate,
и наследие.
a legacy, an inheritance.
Я бы еще как бы к этому пункту, наверное, бы добавил
There's so many
то, что
different
я делал
things
последний
I
месяц.
can add to
Это
this
очень
point,
как бы
like what I've been doing
обогащает
in the last
ту личность,
month.
которую мы говорим, пастор Санде Адelaja или доктор Санде Adelaja.
The personality
Невозможно
called
только
Dr. Sandy
сегодня судить
Adelaja,
о том, кто вы есть.
it's hard to tell just from looking at you today who
Пастор
exactly
Санде
you are.
Adelaja это и
Pastor
92-й,
Sandy Adelaja is
и 93-й, и
this
95-й, и разные
92nd
поездки,
and
и, конечно,
93rd,
когда ты смотришь эту
and
величину,
also
и как вы
there's been so
развивались,
many different trips. And when you look
как
at
вы
your
легко
greatness
общались на
and
разных
what you've
сценах,
been
на
doing
разных уровнях, с
all over
разными
the world,
людьми,
how it was easy for you to
и вам было что
communicate in different
сказать,
countries, on
и
different
где вы
stages with
были,
different people.
люди были
You had
особенно
something to say,
благословенны.
and
Это
wherever
как,
you went,
наверное, был для них
people had
исторический день. И это
received a
разные
blessing from you,
страны, разные
and they
континенты,
probably felt like
разные
they had
сцены,
seen a
разные
history in the
встречи.
making. And all of this
И самое
was
интересное,
common
я тоже
amidst
еще
different
отмечу, что
stages,
всякий раз,
different
когда вы
churches,
где-то были,
different countries.
вы все это
And I also want to
привозили для
note that
Украины.
every time you were
То
somewhere,
есть, когда вы
you
были,
you came
например, я
back to
собираю
Ukraine
клиентов,
and brought back all of your knowledge and experiences to
Да, да. И
Ukraine.
уже на следующий
When you were in
раз, на
TBN, you
следующей
got to know
годовщине
some
эти люди уже
pastors,
выступали.
and in the on the very next year, during the anniversary, those pastors were performing in Ukraine. Then you were in Africa, and you got to know Idahosa, and then the next year, Idahosa was already preaching in Ukraine.
Вас не отнять. Вы никогда не думаете только про себя.
There's no one like you in the sense that you never only think about yourself. We're grateful that you always think about others as well.
Второе, за что я хотел поблагодарить, что
The second I want to thank you for is that you helped me become a personality.
Для меня вот первый пункт, что я нашел отца.
My first
Я
point is
получил
that I
отца.
found
То,
a
что
father
я
in you.
стал
And the second one is that I became a person. My physical parents gave me a life, but you let me live not just physically on this earth, but to become a personality, to become an actual a human being. I came to the church at 13 in 1995. The third is that you helped and gave me the chance to become a man. There's not a lot of men in this society because nobody teaches them and no one tells them what it is to be a man. Usually in churches, it's something really religious, which are far from the man that was created in the likeness of God. And the fact that I can not only hear your teachings, but I can see it in your life and emulate you and imitate you and multiply what you've taught me is very valuable to me. I'll always be thanking you for that. I remember that and I always note that. I always have someone to look up to. The fourth thing I'm grateful to you for is the opportunity to be near you and to serve you. I never could have thought, at least 10 years ago, that I could be near, that I could serve closely to you, to help you, and to have the honor to serve in the same team as you. He who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. I think that's the sense of humor that God has. That often God says us in His words that someone who meant nothing yesterday, who was rejected yesterday, tomorrow he might become something completely different. So now I have been able to work with you and have received such great honor. And the last thing I want to thank you for today is for your example of love, in your love for God, that always inspires me, always motivates me. And Mayowa also talked about that the way that you express love, the way that you love God, and second of all, how you love people, that's not something you see often in this world. You need to search for such people. I'm so grateful for such an example of love, and for your teaching, and for your life that you have gifted to this world. Thank you.
So I want to say, Yuri, that is the voice of the guy that was a Pastor Sunday in Brazil. Yeah, that is that person. Yuri Davidenka is the one who exposed Pastor Sunday to the world after the level 12 years of being in incarceration in Ukraine. And well, I want to say Yuri has been a wonderful son and a follower since 13 years old. He's just like Pastor Natasha has been here for 24 years. You see, people that we have around us are people who have seen, who know us, who have been seen it all, and who, if people are staying with you for 24 years, 25, 26 years, you know that this is real relationship, and so you need to learn English like her. Yes, speak English and be able to influence the world. That is the thing I would like to encourage you to do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Isaac Thomas.
I'm wearing, wow, what a photograph. I've not even seen this one. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dr. Sunday.
Thank you.
Today, I saw your post on Facebook. You said before 20, you should discover your purpose. Before 30, should add value to yourself. And then before 40, you should make sure you fulfill your purpose. which is contrary to what we believe in our own parts of the world, because they say life begins at 40. So I still remember the first time we met with Pastor Sunday. That was, I think, 2 years ago. The way Dr. Sunday welcomed me and my friends, I was very surprised, because I was thinking he knew us somewhere. So it was a big surprise for me that somebody could welcome us like that and have a word with us, really listening to us. And after that time, I would say, Dr. Sunday, it's a privilege for me to work for you, because listening to your messages, I don't know, because I used to believe that it is better to wait for miracles than follow principles and follow the process. But now I have learned that process is more important than miracles.
Yes,
And another thing is, when I was working on your messages, you said some people live for frivolities, and you were talking to me. Now I can say that I can convert my time and really know, okay, this is what I got out of my time within a day. The first time I met you, that day I knew I was really empty, and that after that time I understood that I had to really work with myself. I remember as well, Pastor Natalia also had a word with us, and she was encouraging us. I did not even believe I would even survive up till now. But Sunday, your messages has really transformed me, and I want to say that God will really bless you, and don't stop what you are doing. I know you have a big project to transform Nigeria. I really believe in that. But for your teachings, I will start by transforming my own family. Yes, I'm working on myself to make sure that I become the best in what I do. But first, I will say that I want to use it to transform my own family, because I come from a very religious family, and it's not easy for me to. It's not easy for them as well to change what they believe, because we really believed a lot of things. So now it's difficult. So I want to say happy birthday, Dr. Sunday, and thank you. God bless you, you and your family. Amen.
That is Isaac Thompson. Isaac, I'm so happy that you learn to work with the computer and to do the work that you are doing for me. Because the greatest gift that I could give to you was that work. Because through that work, I know, even if you didn't want to listen before, even if you don't want to listen now, not by force, and because I know that it is only through listening like that that you will really get to know me. We can live in the same household and you will not know me. You can, we can be eating like this, playing, but when you begin to listen, that's when you will know that, there is something in this thing. You might not even see me again, but just listening like that is exactly what you needed. And I'm sure you have experienced that yourself, and the transformation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the work is not even the salary that I'm paying you that matters, but the things you are learning when you listen is the real secret. That is the real thing. And I think that is even more a blessing than the salary itself.
Yes.
And that's what brings about the transformation. And that is what makes you a new human being. And now that's what will prepare you to become the next revolutionary that will be able to change the world.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is that it? Okay. And that previous of that payday to Namuran, Anglo Gavalage mean, Papa.
I'm so happy to be here. You've done so much for me. I would love to say, but I will try as much as possible to put everything together. I will
look nice.
Thank you, sir.
You are looking like a young millionaire.
I receive it.
Yeah. Because you're already dressing like one. Dressed the way you want to be addressed.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I would like to give an illustration to show how your impact has been done in my life. You know, it's like a car battery that is flat, that the normal charger could not charge it. So it requires an external battery that has greater voltage to awaken it. So that is how my encounter with you has been for me. I was flat out.
Like a flat out tire.
Yeah, like through experiences and circumstances. So I was just like in a prison, and those situations really limited my abilities. I was just seeing the negative part of me, not the good part of me. It was so, I don't know how I was even living, but after I came in encounter with you, I came back to life, and which has helped me to discover my potentials, my purpose, and also, to work on them, to work in my potential to bring me to the world. I listed about 5 of them there. I was living in perpetual fear. I didn't even know that was what was going inside of me. But meeting you has helped me to believe in myself. That's one of the most important things that I've discovered that has really helped me. To believe in myself. I couldn't believe in myself before, but you made me to believe in myself, to trust myself that yes, I have what it takes to bring to pass what God has put in my heart. And another thing that you have done in my life is that, cutting your hair is really another booster for me in terms of my confidence, to have confidence in myself. I remember when I was learning this work, the day you saw me, I said, I was told that you are doing this work. I said, yeah, I'm learning. He said, when will you barb my own hair? I was saying, me? Well, I said, well, I will come back to you. Let me go and learn. But I had to summon courage to come because I was scared. Let me not do mistake and things like that. But
How will you barb me?
I won't barb your hair. So when I barbed your hair the first time, it was not really that good. And it encouraged me that, it's not too good, but at least I know the next one will be better. I was saying, would you even allow me to barb his hair at all? Because at least some people that I barbed, doing home service, when I barb their, when it's not too good, they won't call me back again. So I was thinking, well, maybe no way again, but pastor called me again. I said, so that was how it began, and now just barbing the hair is really making me to believe in myself more and more. And another aspect again that you've really impacted me is this work that you give to us. Truly speaking, when I had the job, I quickly chose the family series because I know that is the area that I really want to go into to influence my world. So I took the family series and I'm really working on it, and the thing is really transforming me, and it's really bringing me a lot of healing, and also giving me materials to really give to the world, like to give to the world, because what I am called to do that I don't understand is to raise men, boys, to be a father figure to boys, especially also to ladies, but most especially to boys, to give them direction in life. That is what has been my burden for a very long time, and I have a better understanding on how to go about it now. And another thing that you've also done for me is accepting me here. I was all my plans, everything failed. I never believed that one day I will come and live in this place, or even to meet you in my life. But somehow situations really was really on my neck, and I came to you. You accepted me in. This place is not just a shelter for me. It's an hospital for me. It's really healing me from some experiences in my life. it's also delivering me from some wrong teachings and what the culture and everything has really made me to be. To also go into myself to bring out that person that God has really put inside of me. I remember the first HMT I came. When I saw you, I was crying inside of me. It's hard for me to shed tears, but I cried mostly in my heart because you noticed me and welcomed me. I said, is this me that this person is seeing? So something was going inside of me that I don't understand what is really going. I don't know what to explain to describe what it is, but I believe that it's a healing process that was really taking place in my heart. And even taking the walk with you sometimes, there was a day we had a walk in the forest. That day I cried so much in my heart. I don't know why I'm feeling the way I was feeling, but I believe maybe it's something that was really touching me. Your touch of love, your love is really healing me, and most especially making me to believe in myself. I'm very, very grateful for this privilege, for the acceptance, for the love. And the last one is, I've been asking the question of what does it mean to be a man? And what does it mean to be a father? So I saw it here. I've been having this question for a very long time, but I'm very grateful and I'm so privileged to have it here living with me. I'm studying you, I'm always observing the way you do things, and I'm happy to learn all these things in this place. And I also want to thank Pastor Bosse. I've never had any woman talk about men, what we are as people. One of our men's service we had in the English church, just a few minutes she spoke about men and was telling us the way we are. Normally, at least in the world, the ladies say a lot of things about men, this, that, but Pastor Bosse was talking about how important we are. That we are the leaders, we are the foundation. And I was so touched that I had to go and edit that video to put it in the men's ministry, to see what a woman is talking about, so that most of us are not even aware of. So I'm very grateful for your own impact as well. I'm short of words, but I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for.
Okay, what you are talking about and what you have experienced is encounter with somebody that is a God carrier. All of us are supposed to be God carriers like that. What you have experienced just means that you experience a Christian. All Christians in this world are supposed to be like that. You just experience a Christian. And now you gain self-worth, self-dignity, respect for yourself, faith in yourself, and now even the way you look is different from that time when you came for this. And the way you talk now, nobody will ever believe that you used to be timid like that. Because in that HMT you couldn't talk. But now who you are, everybody will be thinking that either you have made it or there is something, because you are groomed, you are well groomed right now. And that is just because of an encounter. And because you value it. Since you value it, then you are going to benefit from it. And this is also a time of packaging. It's a time of building. God is using this time to build you. So that once you are built up from here, because there are a lot of people like you in Nigeria who don't have faith in themselves, who are just thinking someone like Pastor Sunday cannot come and hug them or give them a hand or come to their level. So by the time you begin to show them the example and come to their own level too, we will see that there is hope for Nigeria, even for the ones that don't have hope and don't have any faith in themselves. So, and the good thing about you is that you are also not abusing it, because familiarity breeds contempt. But you and your other guys, you are not abusing the the access that you have today. So because that's a big wisdom, because a lot of people who are brought up in the Western world, they might have that tendency of being close to greatness, and then they don't see the greatness again. They have crossed the line, and then that's when all kind of problems begin to happen. But you didn't abuse it, and you are not abusing it. And so, because access is both a test and a reward. So when you have access to somebody, it will be first of all test you. If you don't pass the test, then you become a rebel and a problem. You will become, that access will become your biggest test in the world. But when you value it, that test, that test will become graduation, celebration. It will become grace. It will become blessing. So keep on learning all you can, and let your life prove it later on, in Jesus' name. Vincent is the next one.
It's actually a pleasure for me to be here and be in the midst of great people like everyone around which you have touched. All right. For me to know Pastor and then talk about Pastor would take me back to 2015 when I first heard about Pastor in Belarus. We went out for evangelism, and they were talking about Pastor Sunday. I was like, it's usual other Nigerian pastors now. So there was a day that they now brought one of his videos that he preached in Rwanda. The title of the message was The Philosophy of Success and the Philosophy of Failure. We listened to it, the parts that they showed us. I just forgot about it. But I remember in 2016, I could not sleep at night. So I just went on YouTube. Now, the first, one of the messages, the latest videos that popped up was his message titled The Plague of Silence. So when I listened to that message, no, sorry, the message was his interview with Yemi Balogun. When I listened to that message, it drew my attention. Now, later on, when I saw the message, The Plague of Silence, I was like it now built fire in me that it drew my spirit towards his messages. So I began to listen to his messages until 2017 when I went to Nigeria. And I downloaded a lot of pastors' videos, about 200 of them down to Nigeria. So I lived with prophetess and prophets because my mother just prepared a place for me, seeing that I was a pastor in Redeem. So she just provided an environment for me. Now, living with them and listening to pastor's message, it is totally different, I'm saying. Like, they were in this kind of come and sow seed. Use broom and slap your enemies, different kind of practices. Even Tari came and lived with us and experienced that. So that message, The Plague of Silence, now rang in my mind. I said I will not keep quiet. So as they are doing this thing, I'll be respectively initially, but I discovered that they wanted to impose it on me. My mother was there. So I was trying to speak up until, but at the end I discovered that when you're saying something you just heard and it has not been built inside of you, you don't have roots. So they really overshadowed me that when I came here, fortunately, Pastor accepted us. Working with Pastor for this 1 year, editing the videos has really, really made me know that the reason why I could not stand that time was that there was nothing inside of me. So now editing the videos, hearing these messages is putting virtues inside of me that sometimes I will tell her, no, I wish I knew this thing 5 years ago. So, Pastor, I thank you so much for the privileges that you've given to me, your teachings, that have really put something inside of me that today I have the confidence that I can still live fulfilled despite the time I knew about you. And I want to say thank you very much to also Pastor Bose for her teachings. You know, it is inexplicable because I knew that when I came to the English section, I was thinking that, yeah, I'm grounded somehow.
Because you are a pastor in the deep.
Yeah, but by the time I begin to listen to her message, and her message is not just on the surface, she will want to see it like you doing it practically. Because I remember I was at the projection ministries working, you know, but the way she really inculcated her messages on me and physically telling me, there are sometimes Cain will not even do more than words. So it really, really transformed me, and I say thank you for Pastor Bose for all your teachings. And Pastor, what I would say is my gratitude, my verbal gratitude will not be enough until when I'm able to put all these things into practice in affecting the world. And working with you, you know, has made me to know my calling that has been buried right from 10 years, because I knew my calling right from 10 years, but I never even knew that this is really a calling because of the environment I was. I remember my mother got the revelation and came and prayed for me. But it was so silent. Religiously, they are saying there are some books you will not read. I remember I read some literature books, you know, here when I was in JS1 that built me up, but it was silenced by religious practices. When they were saying that what you will read is only the Bible, you know, the books of the men of God, stuff, so it locked me. Now I became unlocked when I met you last year. That made me to now know that yes, I have a calling and I can still fulfill it before I leave, and it will be of a mess or waste of resources if I don't fulfill it and go home. So thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you for the confidence that you've put inside of me. Thank you for your teachings that are out there that will still, you know, affect the world, still affect me more even as I work with you continuously. Thank you, Pastor.
Vincent, thank you so very much. You have been a hard worker. You have been working very hard, because if anybody will work with Catherine, you have to be extra class hard worker. That you survive it. It means God has a great future for you. It means that there is something great that God is preparing for you in the future. And through technology and through computers. And the fact that you are coming from that kind of background also, family background, means that God will trust you to be able to bring deliverance to all those people. That's why you have to work with those kind of messages and make sure that they become flesh in you, so that you could also step out. Like that's my own background too. I came from a village of 40 houses, huts, from a village. I never spoke English in Nigeria before I left. I never wore shoes until I was 12. I never saw my daddy up till today. I've never seen him. I only saw my mom later. So none of you has the background that I had, the disadvantaged background. But see, by believing, by exposing myself, I worked hard to believe in myself. It's not easy. It didn't just come easy, but naturally. I was timid, more timid than all of you. There's no one of you that's more timid than me, the way I was before. But thanks to work on myself, adding value to myself, I transform myself to the direct up 180 degrees of how I was. You can do that too. You people are better than me. So, but I am now who you are saying. So your minimum should be what you are saying now. Good luck.
Thank you.
you people bring all these pictures out? See, I don't have them. I don't have them now. Only you people they get them out.
Yeah. I want to use this opportunity today to congratulate you and to let you know how you have inspired my life in different ways. When I came here as when I came here, that's when I started living life. Not like breathing, I was breathing
Before,
but as I came here, I started living life. And I knew
very powerful.
yeah,
What life is all about.
yes, and I knew what life is all about. I was just living life of, sleep, wake up, no knowing anything about myself, no putting anything together, but I came here through your teaching and through your examples.
Even though you are a deacon.
Yeah, deaconess.
Deaconess.
Yes.
You are a deaconess in a Nigerian church.
Yeah.
What church?
Winners.
Winners Chapel.
Yeah.
So you are a big woman in that place.
Yes.
But you are biomass.
Yeah, that was just
A
name.
facade. Yeah.
Just a
facade.
name.
Outside.
I was just living a name, not a life.
Very strong.
Yeah. I want to use this opportunity to thank you because you helped to bring my self-esteem back. You helped to put the life I am living today in me. And you taught me that everybody is different and you should see everybody, you should try to, that you should see everybody the way God made them and try to, come from where they are coming from. And since I came here, I have started using my logical sense through what you're teaching. You make me, begin to think logically, and to question things, not living by emotions. Before, I act by my emotions and, do things that is not, take decisions that are not concrete. But since I came here, you have, through your teachings and through your exemplary life, my life has been transformed. And the greatest thing that happened to me is I did not learn by books. I did not learn by broadcasts. I learned by practical way of the way you are living and the way you relate to people. Just the way I'm seeing you. Yeah, because I learn, quickly with what I see, not what I read. I used to feel when I see book, I would say, it's not real. But when I now see you practically, that's when it begin to like, sink in me and begin to take root in me, and gradually my life was turning gradually. And the tip of it is when I didn't know anything about video editing, anything about computer work. I was shocked when you say, do this work. I'm like, I went back and said, maybe he thought I know how to do it. But I didn't know anything about it. And because of that, the way the courage, you said it, I said, okay. I now, encourage myself. I learned, and today I have
pro.
Yeah. I've gained that, and I'm able to, do the work well, and God is helping me. Things I never knew I could do in my life, despite that I went through the college, but I never knew I can do that kind of work. So I thank you for the opportunity you gave to me to work with you, and I know that the sky is your limit. The way your loving nature, the way you embrace everybody and put everybody equal, no discrimination, the way you treat people, have turned my own pattern of life around, and I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. And your encouragement when I was going through my own crisis, and the world, it was like the world was turning against me, and I was depressed. But your word of encouragement you gave to me helped to calm me down. I don't know, maybe if I was not here, I don't know whether by now I would have committed suicide through what I was going through, but God used you and used this environment to, turn my life around, and today I am a victory, and I've overcome everything that had been suppressing my life. I've overcome it. So I want to congratulate you today, that happy birthday, and never relent in what you have been doing, your attitude to life, no matter what people say. That attitude to life, the way you treat people, whether it backfires or it did not backfire, that is what God is going to use to...
Okay, so...
Не, отлично пошло. Да. Ну, чуть-чуть, а дальше пошло. Не, дальше.
Right now, what is happening is that this is the first half of our birthday celebration. I'm sorry that I'm the one that is the celebrant, I'm the one announcing it. But this is just for DSA family people, and who are living with me in the house here. But we are going to another hall right now, where we will have the second level of congratulations with the Russian church, with the Embassy of God church members. Я тоже говорю, что сейчас это иностранцы у нас есть то, что называется DSA family, которые они сейчас поздравляют, они с утра начали. Мы сейчас заканчиваем это, и мы переходим на поздравление от посольства Божьего и от украинцев. Поэтому все, наше посольство, и Бен я вижу, Лисаки я вижу. Давайте мы плавно, кто-нибудь, Галина, ты проведешь всех туда, в тот дом. Кто-то один, по-моему, еще скажет, я туда приду. Да, короче, переведите всех туда сейчас. И пока мы отвечу. Okay, Sister Peace. Yes. You know what you said is so powerful. What you are talking about is so powerful that is exactly the state of Nigerians, not just church, Nigerians in general, especially women, even men. Everybody is just living out of emotion because people don't even know that is not they, that is not who they are, that is not even who we are supposed to meant to live. They just live out of emotion, but we are not supposed to move out of emotion. I cannot talk about that enough. But our people have not been taught that they are humans only when they think. But when they are just acting out of emotion, they are animals. So, but that dichotomy is what you've been able to discover. That's why you say you are not just breathing before, just walking on the face of the earth, just breathing and waking up and sleeping. But now you became a human being. That's the difference. So now that's exactly why I want to go back to Africa, to make people become human beings, to make people come alive again, to make people begin to take cognizance of themselves, of their mind, and to be able to become Homo sapiens. Because you are Homo sapiens only when you think. You are a human being only when you think. That is why God says that. That's why God said that man became a living soul. Man became a living soul, because living soul means thinking man. Only when you become thinking, you are a man. You are a human. So that is what has happened to you. And
Уже нормально.
Saveto, is he there?
Saveto.
Yeah. I'll mute my device, then I'll come back.
You're not ready yet, right?
Hello, Jesse.
Yes. How are you, Saveto?
How are you doing? Happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sadis.
Yeah, I have set my Windows, so I'm also going to record what I'm saying, so that it will be for me too. I can keep a copy.
Okay, okay. It's history.
Yes, sir. So it's your 53rd birthday, sir. And I remember when we first met, you were just about to clock 50, but even then you said you were ready to die. And for some of us then, we'll be wondering, how can you are just 50, you say you are ready to die. But of course, getting to know you better, getting to relate with you, changes the perspective. It changes how we see things. One can hardly talk enough about you, and that will not be because one is trying to worship you. Of course, far from that. It will not be because one is trying to massage your ego. Of course, far from that. It will not be because we are telling you probably some of the things you possibly don't know about yourself. Far from that. And it will not be because we are saying it so that people can become like you. No, far from that. And the essence why we say the things we say is that somebody can see an attribute of you that we describe and could be a part of their own journey. And they say, oh, that strikes a chord. Oh, if I can do things this way, maybe it will make me a better person, not make me like Dsa'S. Those are two different concepts entirely. And from what you've taught us, you've always taught us to be humans for ourselves. You've always taught us to live life fully in accordance to God's purpose for us. And I think the most important thing is a lot of leaders use people, but for you, you would rather be used. And you've done that so many times. You've said that so many times. You see yourself as a ladder. And it's not just in rhetorics. It's in the platform you've given too many times just about anybody, so to say. Of course, to stay longer, people may have to earn their place, but you are that open enough to even allow people come in. However, as much as that is a strength, it could also be an albatross. It could be a weakness in some way. And like Maiwa was saying, and like you also have alluded to, that people have spoken to you about being open. I must still be after a discussion. I think there has to be modifications to your openness, really, because things happen, and I understand that I do not see from your perspective. I am not you. I am not. I do not reason the way you reason, but from the way I reason, I think there has to be some sort of modification to your openness, Dsa'S. Like I said, there's so much to say, but I have more relationship with your mind. I really love how your mind works, Dsa'S. And many people will know this by even listening to you. I think Joshua had mentioned that earlier. The fact that you know at least something, and when I say something, I mean that in a matter of substance, about many things. You are multifaceted or multifaceted, depending on who is speaking. You know different things about different subjects, about different aspects of life. And that differentiates you from that box or that label of the word pastor, or what the average pastor or what the average leader would be like. I saw your video on why Nigeria should stop building houses with cement. Which kind of pastor? Which kind of pastor we'll be talking about that? They will refer you back to your book, Pastor, Face Your Calling. But yet, the whole essence of being a pastor is to model men after God, to model men after Christ. And what does that mean in essence? It means to model men to completion. It's not to model men to be like the pastor, but to model men after the essence of Christ. And when I read my Bible, Dsa'S, I read in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. It said, in the beginning, God created. So when it described God to me, the next thing it described was creation, the ability to bring things into being. And a multifaceted pastor like you help people to bring things into being in their different sphere and strata of life. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, not within the four walls, but outside of it. And I remember many years ago, many people used to call you Facebook pastor. What are they saying now? I can't hear them. Are you still a Facebook pastor? Because it seems to me that somehow life has forced everybody outside of the four walls. We now have many Facebook ministry, online healing services are going on now.
They have come to join me.
That you had seen ahead of it. Situation did not have to bring you there. You have seen it, you lived it, and now that situation is forcing everybody there. It's now clear to many people that what you are actually talking about is a reality, and it is possible. It is possible to exist outside of the four walls. Now they are doing that. But you have been talking about that since. And I remember when the quarantine started, and we were chatting, and we were joking about how you don't know anything about quarantine because it's been your life for many years before now. And that's exactly what it is. I remember you have a book, I don't know if it's in English yet, Build Your Own Prison. And that's exactly the system you've built over the years, your own prison, where you operate from the inside out, where you create things and bring things into being. So you didn't need any quarantine to be in isolation. And I joke with Anu that when he says he's going on solitude, I say, well, maybe the life I'm living already is already solitude. So if I should be going on another solitude, it will be solitude. Or the solitude. So, but however, what that has done, what I've learned from that with you in terms of solitude is when one can come into one can come into sameness with his own essence, where you don't deal with the opinion of people about yourself now. You come into seeing yourself, and if you're good with it, if you believe in the word of God, and you have the word of God, you can see that mirror, that image of God, and see yourself naked before that image, and you're able to become better, you're able to create more, you're able to have more focus. And it works really, it really works. And that's one of the principles that you've taught. Another one that I have learned from you, of course, before I met you, my mantra was to become the president of Nigeria 2035. And if anyone has noticed lately, I haven't been talking much about that. It's not because I've given up on my dreams. It's not because I've given up on that aspiration. It's just because when you know better, you are forced to do better. To whom much is given, much is expected. Of course, all has not been given to me, and all is not expected from me. But the much that I know, one, is that I have had the paradigm shift from positional leadership that the office of the president brings to responsibility that a position does not have to give, which means that I can start changing Nigeria without having that position. I probably can even have more influence without having the position. And that is the mindset that I have now, and that is the way I operate. And we see in the last election, we saw so many young people coming out for office. And, one can appreciate their vigor, one can appreciate their strength, one can appreciate their exuberance, one can appreciate their sincerity of purpose. All of that can be appreciated. But reading your book and listening to you and watching your life, the rhetorics for me has changed. And I realize that particularly for Nigeria, okay, you say you are a saint, maybe not a saint, okay? You are a very good person with good value systems. Okay, good. That is not in doubt. This person who is bringing himself out for elected position has a very good value system. He wants to help the people. He can even change the whole world. But the people from whom he is seeking votes have a very opposite value system. You say you want to bring sanctity or you want to wipe out corruption, and you are contesting and you are telling the people this is what I want to do. But the people to whom you are presenting yourself, they like corruption. The only thing they hate is that they are not the ones in the position for it. They are not in the position to steal. They are only waiting for their own turn. But you don't like corruption. You want to fight it out. Then how can you appeal to the reasoning of the people whose value system are antithetical to yours? And so reading your book and listening to you and observing you over the years, I've been able to see that anyone, I repeat, anyone that really wants to change Nigeria and is sincere about it may not necessarily be coming from the place of position, seeking elective position. Yes, they may, but they must recognize primarily that until the value systems of the people change, there is really nothing they are going to do. And so all of those views shaped my thinking. And of course, I'm sure many people were quote unquote disappointed with your choice during the last election. But many of them don't know what I know, that you, in fact, the man was not your first candidate. I was the one who came back from Nigeria. We were still arguing. I was telling you the guy was going to win where you were still hesitating. Not because you didn't like him, but because you were disappointed with the results he brought out in the first step. I was of a different view because of what you taught me. I was looking at things more holistically, and because I have also been on ground. In fact, many of people who are talking do not appreciate the level of, for instance, poverty that is in Nigeria, but I had seen that, and I knew, for instance, from what you've taught me from the place of leadership and the Nigerian question, I understand that to talk about the Nigerian leadership, it's not just about being positioned, it's about changing value systems. The most important one, the last one which I want to talk about now, is process is the new result. Process is the new result. I remember when I took that book last year, it was probably around this time last year that I was reading that book. And it changed my whole life. For me, before reading that book, I used to be goal-oriented, result-oriented, and I always achieved my result. But one thing happened that I did not consider, that I had control over what I do, but I necessarily did not have control over how the world operates. For instance, I had plans for this year, but see what coronavirus has done to everybody who cannot travel. In those days when I was result-oriented, I would have been so frustrated. But now that I'm process-oriented, I just take the situation and convert it for a better result. And I'm enjoying the process, and it's very smooth for me, and I have no problem. And you see, these are just a little of the shift in being that happens, for instance, when one rubs mind with your mind. And one of the things many people don't know is you can stay with DSA for 3 years without asking questions, he'll be looking at you like this. You don't say anything to him, he'll be looking, he'll give you, I will give you a but you can never assume that you know what's in his mind until you actually take the pains to actually have those discussions with him, take the pains to actually study the materials he's written on the subject that you are thinking about. And there's a whole mind shift that comes with that. So, DSA, I want to thank God for your person, and I want to thank God for the works that you've created, and I want to thank God that you are one of those people who lives out process and not necessarily brandishing results to our faces. You are able to show us the humanity or the humanness that is behind the process of what you do. So thank you, DSA. A very big happy birthday to you. And thank you to Pastor Bossy and the rest of the family. God bless you. My name is Bami Shai Victor, just in case you forget.
Well, that's Bami Shai Victor. Saveto. Well, I want to say that, in my own mind and in my own understanding, you are already a president before 2035. I think you went ahead of your time or ahead of your schedule by 15 years. Because presidency is of the mind and is a result of your understanding of life and transformation. Even like as we are talking right now, I will tell you that there are presidents in Nigeria and in Africa, and not just in Africa, but all over the world. If we line out presidents like this, yeah, we have 200 and something countries in the world. If we line out presidents, half of them, you already know better than them, even about their own jobs. Talk less of Africa. So there are people who are presidents now that have not attained your own level of presidency. Because presidency is of the mind. So it is what you know in your understanding and in your consciousness that rules the world. So I could become a president from my room and be doing more than a president can do from my room. I can even be doing what a sitting president will not do or will never think of doing from where I am. And I see you already doing that. So by the time you expand in that understanding and you take that to a new level, that result of the presidential result that you are producing is what might have people come to you to beg you to now come and do the physical president. Because you have already become president inside before the outside affirmation. But what many people want to do in Nigeria is that they want to get the outside affirmation to now convince themselves that they are president. But what we want things to change to is let people be presidents in them. So that when even they get the outside affirmation of that, they don't even see any change. And people will even say that one is distraction. Because before he became president, he was even doing more. So that is the kind of society we want to build, where everybody is alive and knows how to act as a president and do more and better than any president, instead of complaining about one individual president. So, Saveto, keep on reigning. God bless.
So I think we have Perez, right?
Perez ready?
Perez ready?
It's not.
1 second.
Oh, no video. Oh.
No, against the lights. You have to.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Yep.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Because I'm not at home, unfortunately, just thought I'd stop by, give a quick birthday celebration to my dad. I was fortunate enough to spend a few months at home this year, and last year I was able to spend some time again with you, spend some time being remotivated, seeing how hard you work, remembering my childhood, just remembering how it is to be close to you again. And it really has meant a lot to me. I've been seeing all the work that you put, all the struggles they go through, and it really is inspiring, it is motivating. And then to be able to see small breakthroughs is really incredible. So just on your birthday, I'm just super thankful that you're able to have this community around you, that you're able to be celebrated, that you're able to be applauded, you're able to be praised, because you really deserve the best. I know that God still has so much in store for you. He has so much in plans for you. I know that although we have to be patient, although we're still going through tough and not ideal times, I know that we're gonna get to where we deserve really soon. I know that we just have to continue staying the course. So on your birthday, I just want to thank you for all the lessons that you have taught me, you have taught everybody, and I'm grateful that you are being celebrated as you deserve. So have a fantastic birthday, and I'm happy that I'm your son.
All right, Perez, thank you so much. The only thing is that since you are locked down in England, we need to find a way of getting you back to work. Yes, so Monday is the 1st of June. So before the 1st of June, since you are not going to be in Ukraine, get in touch with your administrative bosses and find out the work that needs to be done. I think you need to get back to Kate. Get back to her before.
Yes, I've already been doing so.
Yeah, get back to her and tell her.
While I've been here.
Okay, but tell her that you are ready for full-time job now. If that is not, yes, so that you get yourself busy and you have to convert your time over there to constant products, because the lockdown shouldn't just be a time of wasted time for yourself personally. You have to have products, so you have to keep on having products, and you should be more concerned about the products that you are producing each day and every time. So anybody that could help you to produce those products, you've got to call on them. It could be Kate, it could be Anu, it could be any other person that we're working with. Just need to make sure that you are releasing your products. Even if there are no work from any of your bosses, but make sure that you produce products in yourself by adding value to yourself. So you need to then put some program and timetable for yourself or schedules that will make you to add value, because those goes to the world and God's compensation and God's deserved something that you say we deserve that is coming. The God's appreciation and appreciation of people, acknowledgement that is coming that we deserve as a family. When they come, you must be ready for them. If you are not prepared for the blessings that are coming, when they come, you will lose them. You will not be able to hold on to them. So for you to be able to hold on to all the things that are coming, and they are coming very soon, you need to be super prepared. You need to be 2 or 3 times more prepared to those times than when those things are not there. Sometimes it's a blessing for us not to have some things, so that it will not destroy us, because we are not prepared for them. So once we are not prepared, God will not give them. But once we are prepared, then we are even more prepared than necessary, then God will be ready to release the blessings that He has for us. So some of the things that God has for our family, He might not be giving them to us now, because He's waiting for your preparation and for my preparation. So go for it. Thank you for your words and for the Lord. Okay.
Кто будет переводить?
Dr. Anna, can you help me translate? I will say not very more.
Okay.
First, I must. Thank you.
Thank you.
First, пастор, первое хочу сказать просто огромное человеческое спасибо. Вы великий Божий человек. Вы великая, огромная личность. Вы король, вы победитель. Вы достигатор, вы философ, вы открыватель, вы вдохновитель, вы отец, вы муж. Можно перечислять ваши достижения безгранично. Но одно меня такое, знаете, аж тревожит изнутри, когда я смотрел на вас, только видел по телевизору, для меня это была личность закрытая, и я не мог понять ничего, пока не начал вникать и узнавать о вас больше. И я знаю, что вы победили самое большое зло на планете, это невежество. И вы приобрели самое большое добро, это знание. И вы научились, достигли этого благодаря знаниям, которые, как-то я вам задавал вопрос, что же все-таки двигало вами. Вы говорите, что это были знания. И я не перестаю удивляться, когда вы каждый день вы работаете над собой. Сколько людей вы уже спасли. Сколько у вас еще планов на будущее. У вас нету вот этого потолка, когда вы скажете все, стоп. Даже когда вы говорите, кричит там внутри, может быть, что-то стоп, вы все равно приступаете и идете дальше, дальше, и дальше, и еще дальше. Нет ограничений. Вас посадили здесь в эту коробочку Украину, значит мы сделаем все для Украины, но мы закинем сети на Нигерию, мы закинем сети в другие страны. Уровень вашего мышления просто заставляет удивляться изо дня в день. И я благодарен, пастор, вот просто вот чисто человеческое, вот, ну, ваши труды, которые вы ежесекундно просто делаете шаги, ежесекундно, ежеминутные, каждый день, каждый месяц, уединение, общение с Богом, когда Он полностью вас именно окутал своей любовью, поднимает на свои руки и ведет, даже там, где человеческий ум этого не может понять. Как это у пастыря получается? Да вот так вот. Имея отношения с Творцом нашим, может достигать намного большего, чем человек может сам себе предположить. Поэтому, пастор, ваши годы, хочу вам пожелать здоровья, хочу вам пожелать команду, которая будет просто как вашими руками. Мне посчастливилось быть сегодня здесь и сейчас. Я не знаю, Бог устроил, может быть, торт понравился, может быть, какие-то вот с помощью других, да, работ, которые вы именно взяли, я туда прыгнул. Может быть, я не знаю, каким образом у меня так получилось к вам присоединиться сегодня, стоять здесь, поздравлять вас. Для меня это огромная честь, потому что, будучи своей неординарной прошлой жизнью, и куда я пришел, это благодаря вам, пастор, тому видению, которое вы взяли визию свою и начали, ваше отношение с людьми, ваша постройка отношений делает жизнь людей проще. Возможно, вы всего еще до конца вот, вы это видите, но мы не до конца можем это принять. Поэтому я для себя вывел такой пункт. Пастор Сандей строит отношения с людьми, чтобы сделать их день проще. Именно день. Потому что есть огромная крутая книга. Это один день, картина всей моей жизни. Поэтому вы делаете мой день проще своим знанием, своей улыбкой, своим вдохновением, своими планами на будущее, своим примером, пастор. Доктор, философ, отец, братское сердце, человеческое сердце, Божья мудрость. Просто огромное вам человеческое спасибо.
God brought you to our team already. And because God brought you to this team, you have to speak English too.
So far, yes.
Yeah, you are trying. Thank you. Say thank you to your wife and for the beautiful things that she's doing for us, and for the table she's preparing for us, and for the cakes and everything. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So.
Мария, тогда быстро, да? Ты последний, да? Давайте.
Анна.
Пастор, я благодарна вам за то, что вы меня справляете, что вы меняете мою жизнь, за то, что вы изнутри вынимаете все то, что мне мешает.
Your love, and how you've been able to help me transform from inside. I'm grateful. Thank you for what you've helped me to be able to achieve and to learn from your life. I see how you think, how you relate to people, your mindset, how you think. Thank you for the opportunity to be close to you. I mean, not minding whatever would have been the limitation, but thank you so much for your relationship. I'm very grateful. I'm beginning to understand what you wrote in your book on how to be in the year now. You helped me to see myself in a better light. Yeah, you're giving me the knowledge and understanding to, to live and to get out of whatever limitation I've been. Thank you very much, Pastor.
Okay, Maria, thank you so very much for all the support you are doing and for all the work you are doing in the house. You too need to learn English so that you all could communicate in English as part of the Dsa'S family. And one producer так дал том доме. Да? So, thank you so much. This is the end of the first part of our celebration, I guess. Other people are waiting for me in the other hall. And
All right. Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us. This is from the Dsa'S family, English speaking. So we're going right now to Dr. Sunday and the Ukrainians and God embassy. So thank you so much for getting the happy birthdays message and everything. So join us in some minutes, and we're going to be at the other hall. Bye for now.
Идемте туда, да?